Hi, everyone, and welcome to Rock Valley College's Title IX training, a guide to student empowerment. My name is Rick Daniels, and I am the Dean of Students and Title IX Coordinator. Today, we will be talking about the basics of Title IX and what you can do as a student to help prevent sexual misconduct on campus. We will also be engaging in a case study activity, which will allow you to apply the knowledge that you've learned in a way that will help you to learn more and be able to educate those around you. I'd like to talk a little bit about myself before we begin. Again, my name is Rick Daniels, and I am the Dean of Students here at RVC. My office is located in the Student Center, room 2110. My educational background comes from the University of Wisconsin-Whitewater, where I received my bachelor's degree in 2008 and my master's degree in higher education in 2011. I came to Rock Valley in 2013 as the Director of Student Life and was promoted to Dean of Students in 2015. Many people have a misconception about what the Dean of Students office entails. It's often referred to as the collegiate equivalent to the principal's office. I'd like to take a few moments to debunk some of those myths. The Rock Valley College Dean of Students office advocates for the rights of students by setting standards of expectations for civility, respect, and honesty. We provide student support through the development and implementation of campus-wide policies and procedures and administration of the Student Code of Conduct. Moreover, we are committed to creating a more culturally inclusive society by providing education around social justice, health, and wellness. The primary roles of the Dean of Students office are student advocacy, development and implementation of campus-wide policies and procedures, and Student Code of Conduct administration. One of the things that I think that we should point out is that our main goal is to advocate for the rights of students. We want to ensure that you have a safe and healthy experience here at RVC, and our office is designed to ensure just that. Here are the learning outcomes for today's training. By the end of the training, students will learn basic concepts, theories, and definitions about Title IX and sexual misconduct. Students will also be informed about the college's responsibility to create an environment free from sexual discrimination. Finally, students will be educated on their individual responsibility to report sexual assault. Here's a little bit of basic information about Title IX. Title IX of the Education Amendments Act of 1972 states, "No person in the United States shall, on the basis of sex, be excluded from participation in, be denied the benefits of, or be subjected to discrimination under any educational program or activity receiving financial assistance." Title IX covers a wide range of areas, including sexual and other harassment, sexual and intimate or domestic violence, dating violence, stalking, discrimination of any kind, or harassment of any kind. By now you may be thinking, why is this information important? Here are a few facts that I think that you should consider. According to the U.S. Bureau of Justice Statistics, 1 in 5 women are survivors of completed or attempted sexual assault while in college. Among the college women who experienced completed and or attempted rape, the perpetrator, most commonly a classmate, friend, boyfriend, or ex-boyfriend or acquaintance, was known to the survivor in nearly 90% of the cases. 50% of sexual assaults upon college women involved the use of alcohol or other drugs by the perpetrator, survivor, or both. 6.1% of men were survivors of completed or attempted sexual assault while in college, and students who identify as LGBTQIA+ experience higher rates of sexual assault while in college as well. A few more points for you to consider. We ran a report here at RVC and came up with the following. Between 2013 and 2016, 18 cases of sexual misconduct were reported. 3 cases of sexual misconduct were reported during the fall 2016 semester, including 1 case of on-campus sexual assault also reported in the fall semester as well. So this information is important to you because you can help stop sexual assault right here on RVC's campus. Let's talk a little more about what Title IX prohibits. Title IX prohibits sexual discrimination against students. Sexual discrimination includes sexual harassment, sexual misconduct, and sexual violence. Both male and female students are protected from sexual harassment regardless of the sex of the harasser. Title IX does not prohibit discrimination based on sexual orientation. However, gender-based harassment, including harassment based on sex stereotyping, can violate Title IX. Colleges may not retaliate against someone for opposing an unlawful educational practice or policy or participating in any complaint brought under Title IX. Programs or activities include but are not limited to recruitment, admissions, financial aid, academic programs, student services, education, recreation, physical education, and athletics. Title IX protects students in connection with all academic, educational, athletic, or other programs, whether they take place at college facilities or at a class or program the college sponsors elsewhere. Title IX protects not only the college's own students, but also third parties. Let's take a moment to talk about alcohol. As many of you may already know, alcohol plays a huge role in the college experiences of many students. But did you know that half of all sexual assault offenders are under the influence of alcohol at the time of the assault? As you can see on the slide, we have two categories: incapacitated sexual assault and drug-facilitated sexual assault. Incapacitated sexual assault is when a person voluntarily ingests alcohol, or the offender may encourage heavy usage, or the offender takes advantage of vulnerability through the usage of alcohol. Drug-facilitated sexual assault is when an offender gives drugs or alcohol to someone without their knowledge. The goal is to incapacitate them and commit the assault. That leads us to our next topic, which is consent. Illinois is considered an affirmative consent state. Consent is defined as knowing, voluntary, and clear permission by word or action to engage in mutually agreed upon sexual activity. Just because a person didn't verbally say no doesn't mean they inadvertently say yes. A person cannot give consent if incapacitated, underage, which is under the age of 17, or mentally or physically disabled. When a sexual assault takes place on or off campus and is reported to our office, we are required to begin an investigation. And during that investigation, we focus on the needs and concerns of the victim of sexual violence. We ensure the compassionate and sensitive delivery of services in a non-judgmental manner, and also an understanding of how trauma affects behavior. We also recognize that any victim or survivor is not responsible for sexual violence. Any student requesting confidentiality from the college after reporting a sexual assault should understand the following. If a student victim discloses an incident to a responsible employee but wishes to maintain confidentiality or requests that no investigation into a particular incident be conducted, the college must weigh that request against the college's obligation to provide a safe environment for all students and employees, including the student victim. If the college honors the request for confidentiality, a student must understand that the college's ability to meaningfully investigate the incident and pursue disciplinary action against the alleged perpetrators may be diminished. Confidentiality requests are evaluated by the Title IX coordinator or the Vice President of Human Resources and RVC Chief of Police. Rock Valley College has a sexual discrimination, harassment, and misconduct policy. And that policy is titled The Prohibition of Sexual Discrimination, Harassment, and Misconduct. And it states that RVC is committed to maintaining a safe and healthy educational and employment environment that is free from discrimination, harassment, and misconduct on the basis of sex, which includes sexual orientation or gender-related identity. If you're wondering where this can be found, it can be located on the RVC website under Student Services on the Dean of Students webpage. The college is required to do a number of things regarding sexual misconduct. But here are a few things that we'd like for you to know that we're required to do. The first thing we need to do is raise awareness. Our college is charged with raising awareness and also being able to teach students about the value of their college experience and also how to prevent sexual assault. We are also required to reduce risk. That means that we hire a necessary amount of employees to help to prevent sexual assault, but we also train students and employees on sexual misconduct, such as the training that you're listening to right now. We also have been trained very diligently on how to react if someone reports a sexual assault to our office. By now you may be thinking to yourself, what can I do? Here are a few things that you can do to prevent sexual assault on RVC's campus. The first is train. Receive as much training as you can. Learn to recognize behaviors that are not acceptable. Students who have the education and empowerment to intervene are key to stopping situations that go too far. The second thing you can do is learn. Commit to educating yourself about sexual assault on college campuses. There are a number of resources on YouTube, Google, or many other internet search engines that will give you valuable information on how you can be more informed about sexual assault on college campuses. You can also commit to being proactive. Students should feel empowered to speak up and intervene when necessary. If you see something, say something. And finally, know your rights and stand up for them. If you or someone you know has been a victim of sexual assault, understand that you have the right to report that assault. You also have the right to a fair and equitable investigative process. Here's how you can report a sexual assault. Use the Title IX reporting form located on the RVC website. The link is also listed below. Describe what you know about the incident, what happened, where, when, include names if possible, and note any known witnesses. Students are always welcome to report a sexual assault in person to the Dean of Students office, which is, again, located in the Student Center, room 2110. If someone reports a sexual assault to you, report to the Title IX coordinator as soon as you can. Report all relevant details about the alleged sexual violence shared by the student or experienced by you. Be sure to include your knowledge of what happened, including the names of the student or students, any witnesses, and any other relevant facts, including the date, time, and specific location of the alleged incident. If you're looking for resources, RVC has a number of different resources for you. We have a policy and procedure around sexual misconduct, as I mentioned before. We have a student handbook. Our Title IX coordinator and deputy coordinator are right here on campus. You can find more resources on the RVC website through our personal and success counselors. We also have community partnerships like Rockford Sexual Assault Counseling, and we also have a very close working relationship with the campus police. If you're looking to contact any resources, any one of the resources listed on this slide will be available to you. We also have a number of community partnerships as mentioned before. As you can see here, here are the names, addresses, phone numbers, and email addresses of community partnerships who can help you to deal with the claim of sexual assault. In summary, Title IX prohibits discrimination on the basis of sex for all activities in any institution that receives federal funding of any kind. RVC is required to raise awareness, reduce risk, and train employees and students on sexual misconduct and Title IX regulations. Students can prevent sexual assault by committing to training, education, and action. Lastly, you'll find that there's a case study. This case study is about a student named Sherry. Yep. As you'll see when you read the study, Sherry was involved in an incident of sexual misconduct. Ask yourself, how do you respond? Would you report the situation? And what resources would you refer to Sherry? Remember to be trauma-informed. Understand that this person has just been through a traumatic incident and she's looking to you for some sort of help. You don't know Sherry personally, but you do know that you want to help her. Use this case study as a guide to help you to prevent sexual assault, not just on campus, but anywhere in your own personal or professional life. In summary, Title IX prohibits discrimination on the basis of sex for all activities in any institution that receives federal funding of any kind. RVC is required to raise awareness, reduce risk, and train employees and students on sexual misconduct and Title IX regulations. Students can prevent sexual assault by committing to training, education, and action. For questions, please contact the Dean of Students Office at 815-921-4281. Once again, that's 815-921-4281. Also, feel free to stop by in person if you have any questions. Again, we're located in the Student Center, room 2110. That's our training for today. I hope that you learned a little bit more about Title IX and sexual misconduct. If you have any questions, feel free to stop by my office anytime. Thank you for listening.